Hey guys, Manuel here. Recording this video to show you one of our use cases. Actually, it's on the build now, but I have covered a lot of ground with this customer, so I wanted to show you the whole Monday setup and some cool automations that we have set up to this client. So, and let's go to his Monday. Just a little bit of context. This is a customer that repairs and sets up roofs in Florida. He covers all the state of Florida, so he has a lot of customers. He works on a project-based system. So every contact, every deal, it's a possible project that has a lot of steps. Everything starts with a quote, then goes to an installation process, a warranty process, and then ends up being a closed deal. So this customer approached us to just redesign his whole Monday setup. He was currently working with Monday CRM for the past 2 years, and he knew that this tool has such much more potential that the way that he was using it. So he told us to just rethink a whole new system for him, and we began working on this. So just a glance on how this setup is working. As most of the cases, you have leads. Everything comes through here. Every information, possible customer, contact, or whatever, counts into leads. And here's when the magic starts. This customer uses a system called Roofer. Roofer is a system, let me just show you, that takes satellite pictures. Well, I don't have access right now, but still. This system takes satellite pictures of the homes, of the roofs. Then with an AI system, it maps the measurements and then spits out a report of measurements, possible material costs, and material usage. So the customer had to bounce back between Monday and Roofer to see all the information and then start quoting. And I think what's in Excel, but still, he was jumping back and forth between 2 or 3 different platforms to have a quote. So what we did is we automate this with Zapier. We do a lot of things with Zapier. I'm a master. I'm considering myself a master right now with this. So everything starts with the Roofer integrations. Every time a lead is created on Monday, it sends out information to Roofer to create a new project. Then the person just has to click on the generate report in Roofer and download that PDF. And with that, we can do a lot of things here on Monday. So this turns out to be a qualified lead. I jumped a little bit on the process because the lead transforms eventually in a new project. So we're going to play with this one with Manuel Suarez, the project 23. See here that we can collect a lot of information. These checkboxes might end up with more tasks that I will show you how they are created, but they're considerations for the installation crew. Then we select the crew that will be in charge of the installation. This we did develop a very cool integration that when I will get back on that later. But I'm sorry, we're gonna play with a test too, since we don't have a contract signed here. Okay, so whenever a new project is created, let me just take this. There we will have a related quote. So every time a new project is created, a different entity, a different board will create an item that it's related to this project. In this case, it's a quote. So we can have our correct and streamlined process of quoting related to the same project. Still, we can have 1, 2, 3, 20 quotes for the same customer, and this will end up here in a different silo just to be sure that we have all the information here. And then we'll see what happens when we approve one quote. So a lot of things, a lot of information is coming down from leads, from contacts. Let's say the email, the phone number, everything. So this is already related to a project. And then here's where the magic starts. See here that we have a measurement report. Train Roofing, that it's the customer, will select the measurement report. I'm sorry, we have to switch back some things here. Since the automation is pulling out all the information from the PDF, it's also pulling out the email from the customer. Since I'm not the final customer, I have to manually switch up for the test purposes to the customer that will be in the report. Because in the automation, the way that we pull back information to the correct item is with the item ID, or most of the cases, the contact email that works as an ID. So let me switch back these two just to be sure that the automation is working. Just drag this here. Trim. Okay. So that's correct. See here that we have a lot of columns that will get a lot of information pulled from that report. And then these are a lot of backend columns. We usually work with a reduced table because we don't want the customer to see all these columns that maybe a lot of them, almost half of them are working on the backend. So we switch to this reduced table. We tell the customer to just work with these. This shows all the important information. And we also create a lot of detail views. So eventually, in my opinion, the customer should be only seeing this view. Every time selecting a new quote, they'll have to open out this view. So we have also the measurement report field here. I'll just upload the PDF that I just downloaded, this one. And this will start triggering a lot of information, a lot of automations on the backend. See here that I have them here on the quote process. No, sorry, on the roofer process. Yep. This PDF is going out to a drive, a Google Drive from the customer that allows us to switch the PDF format to a text format. That way we can set up an agent that it's specialized in taking out the correct information from the PDF, and then with a lot of utilities or formatting steps. Let me just show you one. We can start extracting data, formatting data, and start uploading Monday. We also use a little bit of code since it's always helpful. Let me just go back to another one that extract the general information from the report, extract the info. It's a very cool one since it's taking out a table from the PDF. I will show you guys here in Monday that the way that this guy's quote their system is with depending a lot on the roofer information, because roofer allows them to have the correct measurement and the quote starting from the correct measurement to the final price or amount. See here that we completed the extraction of the totals of the roof. With this information, I can actually start quoting my request for the customer. And here I have a table that was extracted from the PDF with a lot of line items. See here that the first 5 or 6 are shingles, the ones that are going to be on the roof, and they're quoted in different brands. So most of the time they will quote with Atlas. Pristine is like the high tech or high quality version of these shingle. They usually work with Pristine or the Prolam, that it's another brand from the Atlas brand. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch back to my emails because I don't want to bother this customer. So I'm gonna switch back to Manuel. Okay, so see here that we have two connected boards. Usually, the contractor or trim roofing creates a proposal with the all the items that will be included on the process, and then they set up a list of upgrades that they want to show the final customer in order to them to select if they want to upgrade some of the proposals. So we have a lot of information here. Imagine that I want to just quote Atlas. Atlas will be this one, this one, this one. There are a lot of items that I don't need. So what we'll do is select the quoted brand. I want to quote at Pinnacle Pristine or Atlas Prolam. Both work with the same automation. Will be different if I select IKO or Owens Cording. From this, for the example, I'm going to show you with Atlas. So I'm sure, okay, so if I want to, I can create another line item to quote more things. But in order to just erase the things that I don't want to see here, I will confirm the brand, and this will trigger out an automation. Just let me show you that. On the folders, now we're in the quote process. That it's deleting related materials from the process. So right now we're trying to figure out which ones we want to keep and the ones that we don't need, we want to archive them. This also have a lot of things related to an agent. So it takes a little time. Just I'll have to wait until this start disappearing. Oh yeah, I just added a delay for this because um, from the start they were like bumping in one to another, and the automation didn't like quite read well the filter. So I added a delay just to be sure that the Atlas ones are the ones that are being kept. Because I tried this one or or 2 times, and I ended up with all the Atlas line items and one from IKEA. And eventually, there is a workaround about that, but we want to be accurate all of the times, especially when we're dealing with AI and automations. I will wait until this finishes up, and then I'm gonna show you the next steps in this. Since we are still on the quoting process, see here that we have a lot of columns that are empty. So um, we will have to just start quoting a sample just to show you how to go on. And then This should be gone. Yes. And this too. I think these two are necessary, but I'm not sure. Let's just wait until if they disappear. Okay, no, yeah. They usually work with these two. So, okay, so this also is related to a database of material lists, since they don't present their proposals with with the with the name that is here. They usually connect. Well, we're telling them to connect uh, this to the correct material list name, and this is thought to be able to also track inventory. I'll show you guys later how to. We're planning to manage inventory, but yep, this is what always keeps here. Let me start from the bottom here. This is the ProCut HR. This is the submit. This is the weather master. And the ProCut starter. Okay, awesome. See here that the names are being changed because we want to show the final customer the commercial names, not the ones that are in the measurement report. And this also gives us the possibility to select the unit cost, the one that somebody on the inventory management can keep up updating the price that we want to quote. And this eventually will have a next column that will tell us the available um, materials for this specific material. So the way that this guy's quote is the quantity times the price, but they always have a waste percentage. It's usually 12%. So 12. Okay. And then usually tax of 8. Since they don't have all the items affected for the tax, we decided to have them manually enter the tax for each one of the materials. Although another case will be just to have one general tax and then affect the final amount of that. Since this total amount, it's a formula. Working with formulas is a very complicated in SAP and in Monday because we kind of like reflect them in mirrors or use them in line items for different cases. So in the backend, there's running another automation that is tracking out this formula, but posting it on the backend as a number. So that way we can be sure that those numbers are being able to use for proposal matters or the contract matters. So see that the total quote is a reflection of the formula, and the total quote VE back end. It's the same one, but done it in Zapier. So if those numbers are the same, everything is working fine. And this, the upgrade list, let's say I wanted to just have one or two options. These four, they are standard. There will always be options to the final customer. Let's say this one. Okay. And the purpose to have them both here and also the total roof area is because all of these numbers depend on this total roof area. And if they want more information, they can go to the other measurements that we pull up from the report. That way we don't have to switch back to roofer or an Excel or whatever place we might need to search for information. Everything is here. Okay, so I'm done with my quoting. I'm happy with my final quote. So this quote stage, it has to move from proposal to quote ready. Once the quote is ready, it will set up another um, bunch of automations. Now, Zapier is grabbing all this information and going to the proposal phase. Since we created this quote with the Atlas Pinnacle Pristine, we're working with PandaDocs. So we already created a template for the PandaDocs. And since we switch out with my emails, I'm going to be able to receive the proposal and sign it myself. Also, from the Dream Roofing side, we posted this 2 columns. So when this once gets populated, it's because the proposal was being created. So we have to just wait a bit to be able to track that. Other way is also to go to the Zapier and check out the status. It's waiting, right? So it's working. See here that the PandaDocs link will send me to the proposal. Here I'll see that here's my name, prepared for the total roof. I don't know why it's not pulling up. I have to check out these, but these are just mapped on Zapier. All the conditions, the table of the products that I quoted, the final quote, and these options. So if I want to just select this one and this one, I'll have different amount of 60,000. This will be pulled up on Monday and select the upgrades, the options that I will need, and then add it to the final amount. I just wanted to sign this and then set the date and finish. Okay, awesome. So I'll go back here, and this will track down the proposal approved. So we have already our automation that brings back the document when the contract is signed. Now, since we have the proposal approved, once this is populated, it will change the quote stage to approved, and then we can go back to our project. That it's here, the new project. Test Manual dos. It's approved. The related quote is this one. And then here I can select the approved quote. That is this one. Awesome. Total amount is for that. And now that we have our profit pool, we have to move on to the contract process. See here that it's a detailed view of all the project information. There's a lot of things going on here. Important information that related to the project, main contact information. There's a really cool feature that I always add to our customers is like having the sub items replaced with items. Since we built another board to just have the task related to this project, and then we can start creating activities and then map these to different team members and track down the information and all the progress for the project. Sorry. Quotes and invoices. We will see here the quote approved, and then we're working right now on the invoices. So once the quote is approved, once the contract is signed, that will trigger an automation to create an invoice in QuickBooks. Payments and contracts. Here it is. So let me just erase this. Yes, delete. We'll have to choose some information for to send out the contract. So expected close date will be the 17th. Then we'll have to select the template that we want to use. Well, sorry about that. Okay. The Pinnacle Pristine. What's going on? Sorry about that. I think my internet glitched or something. Just to circle back down, this is the contract information. We will have to select the template, the payment agreements, 50/50, and then create and select contract. This will go on to Monday, sorry, to Zapier, then go to the contract automations. And this will get basically the contract. From Monday to PandaDocs, create the contract based on the template and then get back that information back to Monday. I just wanted to show this PDF PandaDoc generator that this is the one that creates all the things. That this is catching all the information from Monday and selecting the template and creating the correct PDF. Here we can see the pre-signed. This is sent to our customer, and once that it's signed, that will come here, and this will start all the installation progress. So installation, it's another entity created here. So we'll be able to track down installations. See here that manual test, it's a new installation. This will have a different kind of setup information. Once the installation is finished, it will enter the warranty process. And this will have another setup information. The inventory, as I said, will be related directly to the quote since we are consuming materials. We'll have to track the inventory in as purchases, inventory out, that will be the quotes, inventory broken or lost, that are ones that are not able to use. The financials, every time a contract is signed, we have to create an invoice in QuickBooks and then track down that information from QuickBooks to Monday to be able to track information and to reflect QuickBooks information into Monday. Also expenses, since we can track the expenses here in Monday and then send out that information to QuickBooks. And then crew information. Every time a new project is approved, that project will be created in the selected crew. And this, that just have this one. This is the shareable view. So this will be shared with this person that will be able to track down information from the project, well, in the field, and be able to track everything down here. And this will be accessible for the trim roofing from the office in order to be in the same page with both. Just want to be sure if, yep, they're all created here. Yep. Well, we also use a lot of backend databases since the customer can start adding up things here, and that will be independent from us to update their automations. They just have to start populating this, and this will be grabbed from the automations into the correct process. And basically that's it. It's it's a really big implementation. It's a big system. This has a lot of moving parts, but we have all the things mapped. We almost finished with the invoice and QuickBooks integrations is where it's starting now in the inventory process management. And then start testing out the final test for the whole system. And that will be round up. And thanks for watching. Hope to hear from you guys soon.